Good morning, church. Happy Mother's Day. Feliz Día de las Madres. When Sister Robin asked me to speak today, my palms started sweating, and I thought she must have messaged the wrong person. I told her yes, only because I felt that it was inappropriate to say no to the pastor's wife. So here I am. As Sister Robin mentioned, I volunteer in the photography team. So you give me a camera, and I'm very comfortable. I always like to hide behind it and expect for people not to notice me when I walk around the church. So this is definitely out of my comfort zone, which made me realize this is a little bit like motherhood, doing things that we never thought possible. So today, I wanted to share a little bit of my motherhood journey. I remember when my husband and I started talking about having kids, he mentioned he wanted to be a young dad, and I always was a little bit hesitant, to be honest. I have a younger sister. She's 12 years younger than me. So I remember growing up having to change nappies, looking after my sister. Every now and then my mom would give her through the night, so we had to look after her. So I had a glimpse of motherhood very early on. When I finally said yes to having kids, I knew the responsibility was. My only condition to my husband was I will bring them to church. Back then, I wasn't coming to church, or I wasn't in a relationship with God, but growing up in a Christian family, I knew that it was important for me, and I knew in my heart, I always knew that it was the right thing to do. We had our daughter, Sophia, and even though it wasn't easy, it felt like not much had changed. We kept going with our lives. We just had a little human with us 24/7. We enjoyed it so much that we thought, we got this. And let's try for a second baby. And Oscar was born. A few weeks after having him, that's when I was faced with my first challenge. I got the baby blues. I felt so guilty for feeling so sad that I kept telling myself, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I'm Christian. Jesus is my joy, as we were singing before. I have this beautiful family. I have a husband looking after us. I don't have much to worry about. Why am I feeling this way? I felt so guilty about it that I started hiding my depression from everyone, my sisters, my husband, and everyone around me. He always calls when he's heading home, and I remember this is the perfect time. I will wash my face and pretend that nothing had happened. It was exhausting, to be honest. This went on for the first 2 to 3 months until one day I was watching TV with Sophia. She was 2 years old at the time, and she ran to the table and she passed me a tissue. And she said, "Here you go, Mom." I didn't even realize that I was crying watching TV with her. And that's when I realized that I wasn't in a good place. So I decided to tell my husband, tell my sisters, look for help. And Phil took me to appointments. We talked about how I was feeling. And I slowly started to feel better. Things started to get better. When Oscar was around 2, I started to notice that the way that we were parenting Sophia wasn't working for Oscar. And everybody kept saying, it's the terrible twos, don't worry, he's a boy. And then, oh, it's just the teenagers. So, but throughout all that time, I was really struggling. Some of you here witnessed it. Some of you were part of it. Some of you wanted to help. We just didn't know what we were doing. But through it all, you stood by my side without judgment, always offering help. But for some reason, I was feeling guilty. I said, if I can't cope with my own son, how I can ask people to help me? I should do more. I should be the one doing this because I'm the mom. My husband and I talked many times about solutions or different strategies that I could do, but as a mom, I had an instinct, and Mike kept telling me that something wasn't quite right. So we started looking for answers, and eventually we got them. In simple words, my man, Oscar Man, is a small boy with big emotions. And he needs to learn how to regulate those emotions, because for him, doesn't come naturally. I remember sitting down with a pediatrician, and he asked me, "What do you think about this, Mom?" And I said, "He was given to me for a reason. I just needed to find the answer." Weeks later, we were at home, and I remember saying out loud, and many times I still do, saying, "Jesus, please give me patience." And when I closed my eyes, I pictured God doing, "There you go, I gave you him. Here's your test. Here is the way that you're going to grow your patience." This journey came with many challenges. I have to rewire the way that I was parenting, the way that I thought things would work, and the way some things that it just simply didn't for him. There were days I didn't feel like leaving the house, not because of my children, but because I wasn't ready to face judgment. I wasn't ready to face strangers at the shops or at the park who didn't understand. I needed to understand my son first and help him build the skills that he needs to be an amazing man and to be the man that he was created to be. Just to give you an example, he doesn't hold back. He will tell you the truth as it is. So if you receive a compliment from him, please believe that it's 100% true. I also had to learn how to be there for both of my kids, with different minds, different needs, and both extremely intelligent. But I just needed to make sure that they both felt seen. And I think that this is every day's mom's challenge, right? Especially in the last few years, it feels like social media hasn't helped us much. Like the expectation is to work as if you're not a mother and mother as if you don't work. So if you ever feel that way, please know that you're not alone. I'm still learning, and maybe you are too. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to receive help, even when you don't think that you need it. Because kids are unpredictable, so you might be okay right now, but seconds later, you would think, "I should have received that help." Dr. Vani, she has spoken a couple of times in the Haka podcast. This is not sponsored by any means. But she said something that really stuck with me, and she said, "Self-care is not selfish. Looking after yourself mentally and physically is not selfish." And what has truly helped me in this journey, besides my husband, has been coming to church. This is my me time. Coming to church to worship God is my main reason, but the community here has been such a support for me. From the ushers, stopping the kids running to the streets, to the friends offering to hold our babies or play with our kids, to the Sunday school teachers who are amazing at taking our kids away. To teach them about Jesus. While we get a moment of peace and quiet to listen to the preacher. If you're a mom like me and your village is small because your family is away, lives overseas, or they simply live too far, please know that there is a village here at church. There are aunties and uncles here who are willing to help, even just for a few minutes. So we moms can catch our breath. To finish this, moms, whatever you're going through, please know that you're not alone. Jesus built this church to be an extended family full of love, support, and most importantly, no judgment. And And when you ask God for things, He might give you the answer in a way that you didn't expect it. But it's just what you need. Thank you.